Here's the studio this morning is Mika.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Morning.
Looking very fresh this morning, I may say. Bright. You've been up since 3 a.m.
Good dear.
I'm so sorry you chose to wear that beautiful blue suit today, because it means people won't be able to tell us apart.
Yeah.
You know, we've dressed so similarly today. You've had trouble getting into the building as well, I believe?
I went to the wrong building.
Right.
And I ran in, I was like, you've got to do the show, I'm Radio 2. And then they just looked at me and smiled, and they just went, Radio 2, and I went, yeah, you know, you're in the wrong building. And she just smiled at me, and I screamed and ran. So we're running down Great Portland Street trying to find the building.
BBC staff have trained for years to make other people feel inadequate. You know, it's something we do. It's built into it. Anyway, great to see you here.
Nice to see you
And thank you for bringing in the new single, which I have here now in my hand.
I've never seen that printed.
You've seen there's the sleeve.
There we go.
We should be playing that in a moment or two.
Okay.
But,
I only saw that since we painted it.
It's hand painted. Actually, the ink's still wet. Look, it's coming off my hands here. And you've brought some of your colleagues in.
Yeah, I've got my band with me, Martin, Shrees, Dan.
Yeah.
We're all here.
It's a little cosy in here, has to be said, because
always.
Normally we do live sessions from Maida Vale, but we brought you into the studio for intimacy's sake.
Exactly.
We're in here together. And you've got your keyboard there.
I do. We've got keyboard, we've got some drums and some bass. Pretty much everything that we were told we couldn't bring.
Yeah, all the things we said.
You just got to do it wrong. Guitar and vocal, we're like,
it's show business. Yeah, that's the name of the game. So you're going to sing for us live? I
am in my groggy voice. I'm going to sing to you live. I'm going to sing Blue Eyes, which you guys have been playing, actually.
Yes, and you know, as always with your singles, particularly from the albums, they have such instant appeal. Our audience.
Well, the good thing about, the kind of weird thing about Blue Eyes was that it was on an EP that I put out, and it was never even released. It was just put out 10,000 copies around the world, and there were these 4 songs called Songs for Sorrow, and Blue Eyes was one of them. And then when I found out that it was being played on Radio 2, it made me happy. It's just like, some things just happen, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the nicest thing about music. It makes it feel like it makes it feel like what I imagine the old school music business to be like, where things just happen.
Yeah, you
can't, as opposed to over-planning it.
You can't actually predict what's going to be taken up and what's not going to be. And the good thing is that things like Blue Eyes are picked up.
That's great. That's great. But that's on the album. That's an album track, actually. And the new single, I think, we're going to be playing afterwards.
We are going to be playing afterwards. But you're going to sing for us
I'm going to
live.
Sing first. Okay.
Excellent. So
now,
anytime you like.
Okay. Okay, this works. Are we ready? Oh, God.
He's waving the finger there to make sure they're supple enough there.
Your heart is broken, and to your surprise, your fingers crying for blue eyes. So tired of it, misunderstood. Think you're a woman, well, I think you should. Comes out of the so peculiar. It comes in the day, but it'll never leave you. When you take our bill, wonder if it will fix you. And then wonder why sorrow's never left you. I'm talking about blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter, blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter, so blind, so blind. What's the matter, blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter with you? So I got broken on the underground. Go find your spirit in lost and found. Oh, I've been watching how you behave, and how much like a lover, more like a slave. It comes out of so peculiar. It comes in a day, but it'll never leave you. When you take off it, wonder if it will fix you. And then wonder why sorrow's never left you. I'm song about blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter, matter, blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter, matter, so blind, so blind. What's the matter, matter, blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter with blue eyes, blue eyes? What's the matter, matter, blue eyes, blue eyes? What's the matter, matter, so blind, so blind? What's the matter, matter, blue eyes, blue eyes? What's the matter with
Brilliant, brilliant. Live performance of Blue Eye by Mika Hansman. Fantastic performance. Great, thank you all. Well done, well done, well done. And there you are. Your voice wasn't groggy at all.
It got there. Yeah. I almost got kicked out of my taxi because I was singing the back of this cab going.
Yeah,
so what are you doing?
They're used to that at midnight, but not at 10 o'clock in the morning. I can't take it there. Loads of people will be in touch from all around the world. This is the most amazing thing.
This is, yeah, I've been receiving emails. I think you have as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Twitter messages as well, like pretty much from yesterday. There's people all over the world, because this is we're going to be playing the first ever radio play, or the first ever time anyone's ever heard the new singles for Weird Golden. And there's people in New Zealand, in Brazil, there's people all over, obviously all over the UK, in France, in Japan, in Australia, and there's hundreds of them. They're all online, they're all kind of talking to each other, and there's a lot of kind of expectation, which makes you feel as nervous as a 7-year-old girl. I feel terrified.
Well, that's the lovely thing about you. It is exciting for you. I mean, it's not, you don't just say, oh, yeah, they all love me and that sort of thing. I mean, it's fresh and new to you still.
Well, because everything's a challenge, and you've got to keep on going. And I think even I always say this, but making this record's been like a second adolescence. The kind of highs and the lows, and the kind of self-questioning and insecurity, and then moments of triumph.
Didn't your mum warn you about getting too comfortable with the making of it? Is that right?
Yeah, how do you know that?
Oh, I read it somewhere.
Yeah, I was actually, just before because I wrote it in London at Olympic Studios, which is now shut down, and I locked myself basically for 6 months in one of the basement studios and kind of built this little world for myself. But after that, I was going over to Los Angeles to record the full album, to finish it with Red Wells, who I did the first record with, and I had gotten this amazing house, because I was so upset last time from the place I stayed in, because I argued with all my neighbours and I almost got evicted from my building. But and it was this place in West Hollywood, and so I got this great house, and it's a really big house, and it had, I wouldn't have to argue with all the neighbours. And so I find out 2 days before I leave, I get this email saying, by the way, it's all been cancelled. And it turns out my mother had found out that I had found this fancy house in Los Angeles, had heard about the amount of money it was going to cost, and pulled the plug on absolutely everything without me even knowing. And they put me back in the same apartment building that I was in last time, because she said, and then she put this kind of gypsy's curse on me that I couldn't get, once that was done, I'm so superstitious. She basically said, you know what, if you spend too much, the more money you spend on your comfort, the worse your album will be. And after that, I was kind of begrudgingly on my way to California.
Well, it seems to have worked, doesn't it?
We'll see.
Well, I don't think we should waste any more time, and should get down to playing.
Okay.
Tell me about the song.